Back, everybody. We're going to start our third episode here of the Midwestern Rails layout using Trainz 2022 and JMRI to control car movement. So just start a little timer here, so I'm sure we try to stay under our hour. Okay, so just getting back to what we were doing yesterday when we left off in the last episode. I just brought these three cars over. We can turn on our train car names. So we just brought these two over, 812 and 388. And we've got to put this car, this covered hopper here, we've got to put it over onto to the Lockwood to Robin track, which is this long cut of cars here. So we'll go and we'll start with that, and then while this is going on, I'm just gonna double check that we've done everything that we wanted to do. I did not uncouple. Okay. Now we can go. So that's going over to Robin. We'll just make sure the switches are set up. And that's good, that's good, that's good. And we gotta go quite a ways up here. Actually, we can hop over onto that track, and then let's see, that one there, that one there. So we'll go up here and then we'll back in, and so let's see. So I've basically, because of the length of all these cars here, I've separated them for the road here, but it's not really doing anything. The traffic is still held up because of how close they are to the road. But anyways, we'll do that. I'll connect that car here, leave it there, and then so I just want to double check that So we got the tank, the empty diesels here set up for Mallstown. The Blue Sky, so that's the one that we put there earlier, 574. And we have, let's just check on our friend Thomas and see where he is. He's coming with the other cars. Oh, he's got an issue here. Okay, why is that? Somehow he should be going here. It should be okay. Maybe the signal further up the track isn't switched properly up ahead here. That's correct. That should be all good. This one. That was it. I can see now that he's got a yellow and he's starting to move. And we had him. Oh. Let's see. Okay, so we'll let Thomas continue on his way. One thing that I want to show that I've realized. So we had Thomas there. He was hung up at one of the lights. He was hung up and it's showing red. So he's now moving. Now to clear this red, what I found is if you scroll up and then come back down, it resets, so it clears that red that's showing. It's just something, I don't know if maybe it's something that other people are well aware of, but it's something that I did notice, that if you have a driver stuck and you manage to get them released, you can just scroll up and then come back down, and it'll show that issue's been cleared. So we'll go back to Eric and see where he's moving. Okay, he's creeping along. Go back. I'm just checking over the switch list. So we have Thomas is bringing those two. All right. So there's one car. As we're connecting, we'll connect this one. Then I need to go over to the Lockwood to Robbins track, and we need to pull a car out of that cut. Stay there. All right. So we'll just latch on to him for now. Some of these crossovers, I've actually modified the original layout. These crossovers weren't here. I had to do it so that I had more yard tracks that I could use. Hence this long track here for Robbins. So there's some of the things that I've updated. Now, I'm not an expert at the scenery, and I never really put much focus on the scenery side of things. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm coupling up to the other cars. Because there's a car that I need to pull out in this cut. So we're gonna go and see where it is. Let's see. It's a JRPX. Oh, I hope it's not all the way at the end. Alright, it's not here. Oh. Copper grain gray. No, it's a reefer. Those are milk cards. I don't know what's happened. For some reason, I'll just do a search. JRPX, and it is 25220. 25220. Oh, there it is. Alright, so that was put on the wrong track, I believe. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect this again. just so that we show good faith of opening up the road. Mind you, the cars don't seem to go anywhere. All right. I think what I did is I realized that this car was going to be moving, so I probably put it aside in that track. So we're going to go over here. Now you can see Thomas over here. He's coming with his cut of cars that he's moving. He probably was waiting. Yeah, so because I moved this switch, it allowed him to have space to do what he has to do. Nope. That's not right. Thought I had moved this switch, but where are you going, Thomas? Just go to Thomas for a second here, because I don't know where he's going again. Stop train. I think they need to go to a clear point. I'm not fully knowledgeable on the not fully knowledgeable on the light system and all that, but I think they need to go to a past the light before they turn around. But he should be good now. So he's gonna couple, yeah, and he's gonna notify me, so I'll make sure that we'll see him. Now, I gotta figure out, okay. Now he's stuck again because of this light here. That should be good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Why is he waiting? Alright, let me just go and get him going. This is... He should be clear enough now. Once I get him past the light, if I send him on his way now, continue schedule. Yeah. These lights, they I'm not sure if there's a logic issue with these lights that I usually have to manually get them to go through, and then things are fine afterwards. Okay, so we got the JRPX, and that is going to the Blue Sky track. So we'll wait for Thomas here to couple up, get off of the okay. So he's got 115 and 968. Those are two going to Blue Sky. I'm going to take the over here. I'm going to take a little bit too much time. So I got to wait for Thomas here to clear this track, because the car that we have is going to be coupled onto here. Going the wrong direction. There we go. And this one is going to be going to Windsor. This is that famous missing reefer with beer. Gotta make sure that we get that moving. Okay. Right, so I'll just have him slow down so that I can get this other one now. Probably breaking a bunch of yard laws or regulations, but yeah, as I said, a lot of these crossovers were non-existent here. So you'd have to go quite a ways to watch the speed. You'd have to go quite a ways to get crossed over. So that's one of the improvements that I've had to do. And like I said, I'm not a big scenery expert, so I did it. It's just to make it functional, and I think in some areas at the other end there's it looks a little bit funny, but it's functional. That's the main thing for me. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kick this car. And I'll just go over gear back to Thomas. Or no, this is Eric. And I think once I'm done this, that'll be all the cars moved. Okay. So what I'll do now is I don't normally when I'm done I would give them instructions to move to the switcher parking spot over where the locomotives are, but I'm just gonna stop this for a second here. All right. Just looking at the check, making sure that the switch list that we've done everything that we need to do, and everything is done. So I'm gonna pause for a second, just because I don't want the time to waste, because we got, you see up here, we started at 5, it's now 6:40, due to some mistakes that I made and along the way. So operations, we go to our trains. So we're working this one here, the yard switcher for Lockwood. And what I'll do is I'll just go over here to conductor. These are all the cars that we've picked up. So we'll select all. And we're gonna move them. And move them one more. Move. And terminate. So those cars now are officially moved onto where they're supposed to be. Shows terminated. So 6:50. We're gonna be late if we. I'm gonna. This train right here. This is the Lockwood to Sinclair turn. So basically, it brings empty crude oil tanks down to Sinclair and comes back. So I'm going to try and build it. It may not build if there's no cars available, but we'll try. Yeah, so it comes back as no cars. So that is a train that we're not going to run today. So I'm just going to reset this. And as we're not going to run it, I take off the check mark and it's off of the list, and so I don't have to worry about that one. So the next one that we can build is this Lockwood to Mallstown, and if I look, it's at 8:05, and there's also the opposite direction. We have a train that's scheduled to run from Mallstown up to Lockwood. So these two will meet at some point. And what I should do, yeah, I'm gonna build these, see what happens. Okay, so for this train, we got 42 of 50 possible cars. And for the Mallstown to Lockwood, let's build that. 21 of 50. So I think what I'll do is I will print these. We'll print. We'll do it as PDF, and I'll call this one Lockwood Mallstown. And I'll print this one, also PDF. Normally I'll print these out and have them on my desk, but I'll do it like this so that we can have a look at it. So those two are printed. And at the same time, I'm going to print a copy. Just it's easier for me to follow on my desk here. And print this one. Print. Okay, so we got those two done. So what we can do now is we can go and look at the first one, Lockwood to Mallstown. Sorry about the printer noise in the background here. Okay, so we see we have empty diesel fuel tankers, and the tankers. It's going to print the other one. We also have some aviation gas tankers that are empty. They also get filled up. This is funny. This is this car here that's in between everything. This is a box car filled up with hay bales. So I have one location on the map that it's a farm supply location, and they produce hay bales, and these hay bales are going down to there's a farm supply between Mallstown and Stormont, which Stormont is off layout staging. There's a location there, and they accept hay bales, so that's where that car is probably going. That's interesting. It's the first time I've seen this one actually moving, so that'll be interesting. All right. So if we go over and we look at the Mallstown cut, which will be all these tankers here. So we have all these tankers, and we have this boxcar. This is the boxcar filled with hay bales, and the rest. There's some cars at the end here that are not. This car is liquid nitrogen, and I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to look into it, because I think these cars are stranded here for some reason. I think I moved them earlier on, like a couple of weeks ago, and I noticed that they're still sitting here, and I can't think of why these cars would be on this track, because there's nothing, unless they would get left at Elko, which I'll have to look into that. But what I want to show you is if I go to JMRI and I go to the cars, just want to explain something about the cars. So I'll sort this by location, and we'll go down to Lockwood. All right. Which ones? Okay, yeah. As you can see, some of the tank cars, and also some of the grain cars, I have them set up as a kernel. So, like in this case, this Caswell one, these cars are diesel fuel, and they go to Caswell, and I keep them all together, so they always travel. These 12 cars will always travel together, and they're all anything that's, as it's named, Caswell 1, so it's part of a kernel, and you can see the kernel here. You can see these crude 005, they all stay together. So there won't be individual cars out of there that I need to take out. It's just because of movement, there'd be so much switching of individual crude cars or empty diesel or diesel cars that I keep them together as as a kernel. See, these diesels, they're evergreen 1, so they basically they work the evergreen coal mine, so they'll always travel together as a group. Same thing like these grain cars. These grain cars, they're all part of a kernel and they all travel together. Now there are some individuals, individual car like grain cars that do move individually, but I just want to show you that so you'll understand. You know, all the cars that were moving, the tank cars. All right. So basically, if I look here, I'm just looking at my. I think I printed the wrong ones. Anyways, go back to Trainz. Yeah, so I built by accident. I clicked on this and it built this train. This is the Lockwood to Fairview, which runs today anyway, so that's fine that I did that. I just want to print, manually print out this first one again. Yeah. Okay. So if I look at this again, so basically these tanker cars, I count them in groups of 12, and I know that they're individual. I mean they're together in kernels. So 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm just trying to see if, yeah, 774. So it's probably going to take all of the tank cars out of this track. And there's not much. I mean, I could block these cars as per the way that JMRI wants me to block the cars. But they're all going to Malstown. There's no stop in between. If I look again at that switch list, so you can see here I got all the cities that we go through, or not necessarily cities, but locations that we go through that we don't have any work at. So it's just basically going to be a straight shot, and it'll tell me how I split up the cars when we get to Malstown. And there's still some tweaking that I have to do because it has me like this down here. This is the interchange track from Newbury to Malstown, but we're coming from Lockwood to Malstown, so we shouldn't really be putting cars on that track. So these are things that I have to make note of and then go back into to restrict those cars from being delivered onto this track. They should all stay on this track. I don't know why they get split up like that. So that's what we're going to be doing here. So initially what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the switchers back to the parking spots. Get rid of this, that's done. And I'll just say navigate to Lockwood, navigation, yard switchers, and notify. And I'll do the same for this guy. So navigate to Lockwood, navigation, yard switchers, and notify. Now I think there's an issue here with the direction they're going. Let's try this and see if that works. No. Okay. I'll just stop them for a second and get them going manually. It's because of the direction. It automatically changes the directions. So if I get them past this light, or this switch point here, it should be able to find its way back. I'll try it there, see what happens. So I'm not sure where it's going to go. I might go through that track right there. It might go straight ahead. No, where is it going to go? It usually finds an empty track, so it's going to go up here. And just speeding along, not obeying any speed restrictions. So I'm going to do the same thing with this guy because he's stuck as well. I'm not obeying any speed restrictions either. And what we're gonna do, just checking on the time here, we've got about 18 minutes left, so we'll probably, because we have a train, let's see, if I look at the switch list for Mallstown. Sorry, I'm just looking at the switch list here, quickly taking a glance. Yeah, what we're gonna do is we'll go down to Mallstown and we'll get that that train set up. We'll get our locomotive moved out and pick up the cars that we need to pick up. And as soon as I get past this switch point here, so I'm gonna send this guy on his way. Continue schedule. He might take straight through. Yeah, he's going straight through. So those two guys are on their way. And so if I'm looking at this the switch lists, our departure time is 8:05 for the two trains, for the eastbound and the westbound train for Mallstown and coming out of Mallstown. So what we'll do is we'll head down to Mallstown, and I believe, I'm not sure which of the switchers I have down there. That's the one for here, but I have another. Yeah. So here we are in Mallstown. This is the locomotive that I have set up for the route. Because of the two trains going in opposite directions, I have two sets of locomotives running this this route. And so we're gonna be using this guy. And who is that? That is Duke. So we're gonna have Duke. Oh, I forgot this guy. He was supposed to go to his parking. So I'll just have him go to parking. Navigate to Mallstown. Navigation. Switcher parking. All right. And let's see if we can pull up the switch list for Mallstown. All right. So here's our switch list. So we got to pick up. We got to pick up cars on the Mallstown to Lockwood track and the Mallstown to Newbury track. So we'll just go and pick up these ones first. So we got some aviation gas tankers, 5 that are empty and 5 that are full. So let's start to do that. Get the Duke, and let's make sure he's going the right way. And we'll have Duke move out. As you see, I'm not really I use any locomotives that I find that I'd like to have on the map. So this one's from Central Oregon and Pacific, which I don't think it would be running on Midwest. So I'll just go ahead and check the switches. Okay, that's the light, that's the switch. Everything should be good. Now, the Newbury. Which one? Newbury. MLS to Newbury. Okay, so this first track, yeah, we'll have to go all the way up and take this first track right here. This is the track that we're going to be going down, and so we'll see where are these cars that we need. They're further down, probably down at the other end. Yeah, there'll be these ones down here. GATX 33, yeah, it's these ones. Okay, so we'll go back to Duke. Duke will have a little bit of a travel down to the far end of the yard. So we will let him. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hop back quickly to Lockwood because we have Ilza. And we got to get some locomotives out of the way, I think. Yeah. We're going to have some CP locomotives for Ilza. So we'll have to get this one moved out. Okay, let's have him move to the fuel track. Navigate to Lockwood. Navigation. Locals fuel. Oh, I'm going to go to local fuel 1. And then we'll hop into Isla, and gonna get her in the opposite one. And I need to go over. So I'm gonna go down here, and I'm gonna have her back into this car right here, 41778. So I'm gonna tell her to couple to BFRD 41778 and notify. And if we see she's starting to move, just need that guy to clear. And so let's move back to Duke and see what Duke is doing. And all right. So in Mallstown here, there's basically, there's no industries here per se. The only industry is trailers, trailer, drawing a blank here. Flat cars with trailers. So they either come in flat cars empty and get loaded with trailers, or they come in with trailers and they get emptied, and then could go to the other spot that we have for trailers is Robin and Lockwood and Newbury. Those are the main I'd say intermodal hubs. I'm actually still working on getting actual containers, like intermodal container cars set up. The other industry down here is over here we have the refinery. So it takes in the crude oil and it does diesel fuel, aviation gas, petrol. So that's what's done here. Part of the process for the crude, I have molten sulfur cars, which where are they? They're. We'll just head over there. These yellow cars are molten sulfur that apparently is used in the refining of crude oil. So they come here to Mallstown and also up to Newbury. These cars here, I believe, are petrol. One of them is. I'm not sure which one, but that's what those cars are for. So Mallstown, most of the time, the traffic coming here is tank cars of some sort and trailers. That's why I was kind of surprised to see that boxcar with hay bales coming down here, but it'll probably drop here in the yard, and I have a train that runs from Mallstown to Stormont, which Stormont is the staging end of the Stormont subdivision, and along that subdivision towards Stormont, there's a farm supply that takes hay bales. So same sort of setup here in Mallstown. I have tracks set aside for the locations of not for locations, for the trains that run here. Basically, there's a train that runs from Lockwood down to Mallstown, and I have it set up that there's a track for Newbury, but I just recently created the first train that's going to go from Mallstown direct to Newbury, bypassing Lockwood. All right, so we got on couple. And we'll pull these up. A little bit of weight in here, I think, because these are they full? 328. Yeah, so these are the first ones are full of aviation gas, avgas. 31, yeah, and 317. So these are aviation fuel. Yeah, they're marked. And then these ones are also aviation fuel, but these ones are empty. So we have what we got? We got 33, 29, 25, 24, and 32. Yep. So those are the cars that we need to get off of this track. So that's good. So what I do now is I basically, this train is scheduled to depart at 8:05. So basically I'm just going to get everything squared away, have it set up on the track, and then wait until 8:05 to depart. And what I do is I just have the AI then navigate up to Lockwood. And so just check the time. I got about 3 minutes left here, so just enough time maybe to couple on to the other cars. So I believe it's these cars that are going. Let's see. Yeah, the first one is PFRP 98. Yeah. 98, 84, 35, 25, 59, and 09. Okay, and there's some, supposedly there's some avgas tankers as well. Just take a look down here. Those might be them there. 319. Yeah. 319, 34, 18, 30, and 21. All right. So we'll finish hooking up here to these cars, and then we'll call it a day for today, but we'll be still continuing on in the next episode. In episode 4, we'll get the Lockwood to Mallstown side of things lined up as well, and we might have a little bit of time waiting if we get everything squared away before our departure time of 8:05, which we have about an hour and 5 minutes. Then what we can do is we can take a look at doing maybe working one of the other switchers. We'll take a look at that, see what our next job will be. We should be just right on time once I get coupled up to these cars. And as the same thing with this as the train coming down from Lockwood, this train is going directly to Lockwood, so there's no stop. So I don't really need to pay attention to the blocking as long as we have all the cars we need to take. Then we'll just take them all, and the yard switcher in Lockwood will sort out these cars as well. When the Lockwood train comes down, we'll have the switcher here work the cars coming in, so we don't have to spend too much time blocking the train. That's my timer telling me that it's time to call it. And so what I'm gonna do is just turn this off for now. It clutters. So I know I'm going to be going down that track. And maybe what I can do is next episode we'll just we'll tag the cars. We'll use the car tagger to tag the cars for Lockwood. But at this stage, once the train is set up, I know that the car is going to be going directly to Lockwood. So there's no real urgency to use the car tagger for that. And I see, so one of the things I'll have to do is I'll have to go in and I'll have to, because it's showing that all of these cars are full. That's why the train, you can feel it, it's heavy. But there's supposed to be some empty cars. These are supposed to be empty. So I'm not sure why they're, maybe I didn't empty them. Ooh. That was lucky there wasn't a derailment there. I wasn't paying attention. So we'll just back up to those other cars. And then we'll call it good. Yeah, these ones, these I believe are petrol. Let's see. Yeah, it's not really stipulated. I'd have to look at, go back and look at JMRI to see what they're put aside as. So once I couple up to these last cars there, we'll just stop then we'll just hold the train there. There's nothing that comes onto this track, so. And then the next train in the schedule after the 8:05 departure, these two trains, we have the 8:20 departure to from Lockwood to Fairview, and looks like there's only two cars for that train. So, and so we just couple up here. Excellent. So we'll stop it there, and we'll stop it with Duke basically ready. Duke is all set to go, and so we'll just have him turn off his lights for the time being. No, guess he doesn't want to turn off his lights. Okay. Anyways, we'll leave it there. I'm going to hit pause, and we'll continue off on the next episode. Episode 4, we'll be running this train. Thanks a lot for watching, and hope to see you the next time.